This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Talking with Neal Atkinson from BetSaracen's. Neal, it's always good to talk to you, man. We got a big weekend of sports coming up. And
absolutely looking forward to it.
Well, you know, Matt and I last weekend were talking about how much fun Super Wildcard Weekend is. You get good games, Super Wildcard Weekend, but generally it seems you get better games the divisional weekend. It seems that the divisional games usually are the best weekend of the entire NFL playoff season. So here we are. We got some good ones ready to go.
Oh, yeah, and a couple of these games got me nervous because, you know, I kind of like it when there's more games because I could, you know, as a bookmaker, I'm more interested in spreading my risk all across the different betting ones. And when we get to the divisional and then the conference playoffs, there's going to be a decision, and somebody's going to come out on top, and it's either going to be the player or the book. So, yeah, these make me nervous. You know, it's really, really good volume. It's incredible seeing the difference between last year and this year, the amount of bets that we're taking and the different sports that are lined up. But I mean, this weekend has some opportunity for the bettors out there. I think a little bit more so on Sunday than there is on Saturday, but it's just the way I'm seeing them.
Tell me about some of what's going on already, because I mean, you've already had this year the national championship game, the Final Four in college football, the bowl games. I mean, it's just like you're starting off the year with basically the biggest things to bet on sports outside of the NCAA tournament. So, I mean, it's been a couple of huge weeks, and pretty much the whole month of January into February is like that for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Our number one most bet sport right now in the month of January is going to be basketball. It is basketball. Main reason is there's just more games, there's all games throughout the week. But if you break it down, college basketball still is king here in Arkansas. It's about 27-28% of everything that we write, followed closely by the NFL, which, we've been basically in the last weekend of the regular season and in the playoffs. That's another 26%. So over half is college basketball in NFL. And then right after that, about 16% of our business is the NBA. So the bowl games, we only really had 3 days of bowl games. You had the first, I think there was one other game on the second, and then you had the national championship game. And even with just 3 days of college football, it's about 14% of the month's business. So, those are the top four right now. That's the ones that you would think. But just to show you that how we're probably one of the only state where college basketball is the most bet sport. Because usually it's the pro teams.
Is that mostly on Arkansas, or is that SEC basketball, or is it college basketball overall that gets so much attention in the state? I know the Hogs, but is it regional or is it national?
No, it's going to be regional. Okay, our number one most bet game this year on college basketball was Georgia versus Arkansas. Right there on its heels was Tuesday night's game, Arkansas versus Texas A&M. And then Arkansas versus Auburn was the next one. And then we've got a little outlier out here. This is a weird one. Wright State versus the Green Bay Phoenix. That's the fourth, but I think we had one of our high rollers kind of far away at that one. And then after that, you've got Michigan versus Ohio State, and then you got Tennessee versus Florida. So those are the biggest college basketball games that have been bet so far this year. And with the top three being dominated by Arkansas, that's what you would think.
Who knew the Ohio Valley Conference was so popular here in the state of Arkansas once Little Rock joined that league? That's kind of wild. I want to ask about the Chiefs-Bills game. Buffalo is a 2.5-point favorite at home in this crazy weather. KC played in that weather too. Now, I don't know where the line started, but how much has that moved over the course of this week? And does the weather have anything to do with the line being so close?
No, I don't think the weather does as much. I mean, I just looked at the forecast. It's supposed to be, compared to those games last week, they may be out there in their swimming trunks. It's going to be, I think, 25 degrees and partly sunny. But of course, the temperature go down. Because I don't think that game starts at 5 o'clock. So, there's really not a whole lot that affected that game. I mean, if you look at that game on Monday, where they moved it from Sunday, I mean, that field had so much snow on it, and they were showing it on Sunday, and that field looked like any other day except snow on the sidelines and in the stands, and that game, had some scoring in it. So, the weather, I think, on this one, I don't think the weather's going to play a whole lot of that one. And this to me is the most competitive game of the four games that we've got this weekend, and it's the one I want to watch the most too.
Well, as far as the Arkansas-South Carolina game goes, one of the things that's really interesting and even kind of funny is to look at some of the prop bets that are put out there. I know Double R does some of these too, and it's because you don't really know who's going to play or who's going to get the minutes, and I just can't imagine there are too many prop bets that involve, well, here's for instance, Layden Blocker over half a point and over 4.5 minutes. It's minus 110. You've got Mekhi Mitchell over 2.5 points, over 1.5 blocks, plus 175. Now maybe it's a matter of I haven't read every prop bet in Arkansas basketball games that have been played this year, but you get Chandler Lawson over 2.5 points, over 3.5 defensive rebounds. These are small numbers, but it's also, if you are like we throw around who's going to play, who's going to get the minutes and all of this. That's what this is all about. We don't know. Wonder if the bettors know. They don't.
They don't either. And you know what we had to do is that we were using the full year statistics. And once we got the conference play, we started only using SEC and conference play statistics for these averages for the double R's. So, and coming on last Tuesday, more double R's hit than have hit any other week since basketball season has started. So the players that bet the double R's last week, they did pretty good. Now, 2 players that were on the double R's last week did not play, so all of that money's refunded. You will never get dinged if the player never enters the game, but if they do enter the game, it's a live bet. The double R specials, if you look at our bet breakdown, the cool thing about the double R's is that they hit our board as one of our more popular things that we bet. I think it's number 6. And again, it's that those double R's are only around Arkansas basketball. So it goes to show you how much attention is being brought to that. And that's after straight bets against the spread, money line, over and under, and then the double R's are right there on the hill on the bet type because it's a special. So we put it in its own different category. But, those double R's, you do get some opportunity, especially if they get hot. And like I said last Tuesday, the bettors did very well on them.
I know you got UFC 297 tomorrow. How popular is UFC betting on BetSaracen? Because you got every fight there. This has obviously become a really popular sport across the country and across the world. But how popular is it on BetSaracen?
It is real popular. Let me see where it hits on here. It's further down. It's like our I think it's below golf and it's below soccer just this month alone. Of course, we haven't had a lot of events. Now, when somebody like Bryce Mitchell is in a fight, we have a huge spike. But the UFC is kind of funny. It depends on what else is going on that weekend. We have our core following, but when we're not having a weekend where there's a big sporting event, like the playoffs and bowl games and things like that, we see a little bit more there. But, right now, it just seems everybody's focus is on college basketball, the NFL, and the NBA right now.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.